Spring has come. Warm day. About 8 degrees. So this trip to Reivo, I had my 45-liter backpack. It worked really well, as it wasn't so cold, so I didn't have to have my warmest gear, especially the sleeping bag. In very cold weather you need warmer sleeping bag and warmer clothes, and then you can't have the small backpack. I usually have the Palk on my winter trips, but it was only 2 nights and it was not that cold, so it worked really well. It's much more fun to ski with a backpack than with a Palk. The Palk kind of kills the joy of skiing.
The backpack was 9.5 kilos at start, which is very good for 2 winter nights. I didn't have any kind of shelter with me, which helped a lot to keep the weight down. The first night I slept under the sky, sheltered by the spruce trees. By stepping with the skis on the snow, you make a flat surface where you can put your sleeping pad. As you can see, I put the cell phone pad above the air mat. I have found it to be warmer that way. And my air mat is quite sturdy, so it won't break. The sleeping bag is the Western Mountaineering Ultralight, which is good down to around -8 Celsius. When searching for a place to winter camp, a small stream is nice to have, so you don't have to melt so much snow to get all the water you need. The stove is a small Trangia triangle with an alcohol burner. Very simple and functional, even in cold weather, and quite light. I always have a map and compass on my trips. It's nice to have something to read in the camp. And I also have a GPS in the phone, in case I need it. When packing the backpack, I start with the sleeping bag at the bottom, inside a dry bag. And then I take the things that I'm not likely to need during the day, like the air mat and things like that. And the most urgent things at the top, obviously. As you can see, it wasn't many things I brought on this trip. My 45-liter backpack wasn't even full. The principle of the VBL, Vapor Barrier Liner, is also very simple and functional to keep the boots dry on longer winter trips. In my case, it's just a simple plastic bag to prevent moisture from the feet to condensate and wet the boots from inside, which is a big problem after a few days in a cold climate. This is a common technique for Arctic expeditions, where you need to keep the boots dry over long periods, where you have no possibility to dry them. The same principle, VBL, works inside the sleeping bag. The animals leave tracks in the snow. It's like a storybook, and you can tell what is moving in the area. Here is an old track from a wolverine. This is one reason why I prefer the skis over snowshoes. The downhill. And I wouldn't go like this with a Palk, that's for sure. Thanks to the backpack, it's possible to enjoy yourself with the skiing. The last night I stayed in an old open cabin. The temperature in the morning was about -10 Celsius, a little too cold for my sleeping bag, but it worked. This is what a real forest looked like. Trees draped with hanging lichen. The virgin forest, getting rare these days, can be found only in nature reserves and national parks. I hope you enjoyed this little guide through the wild forest. And there will be more wild adventures in the spring ahead. And I hope you will join me. So, see you in coming videos.